Dear Jesus, tonight I come to you with nothing but honest words. I'm tired, so deeply tired that it reaches into my bones, my heart, and my mind. Maybe you can relate. I've tried to stay strong even when every fiber of my being screamed to stop. I've smiled when I felt like breaking, carried on when all I wanted was to collapse. Yet here I am, confessing that behind the facade of "I'm okay," there's a weariness I can't shake off. Have you ever felt that way? When the world applauds your strength, but inside you wonder if you can handle one more demand, one more disappointment. Tonight, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to recite polished phrases or plaster a brave face. I'm simply raw, laid bare before you, because you see beyond the surface. You see every tear I've swallowed, every question I've been afraid to voice. You see the ache in my chest when sleep doesn't come. When the lights go out and my heart pounds louder than any melody, you don't look away, you lean in. There's something about the night that magnifies our struggles. Have you noticed it? When the world falls silent, our fears grow bold. The worries we pushed aside during the day become giants in the dark. I've been there, staring at a ceiling I could never quite escape, imagining worst-case scenarios about tomorrow. Maybe you've been up in the small hours, replaying regrets from yesterday or rehearsing anxieties for next week. It feels as if every burden weighs twice as much under the moon's dim glow. Yet even then, you are near. Tonight, I acknowledge my exhaustion. I've tried to stay strong for family, for work, for friends, so many responsibilities that demand my energy. But Lord, I'm empty. I feel like a well that's run dry. I've juggled deadlines when my mind screamed for rest, forced laughter when tears felt more honest. And here, in this quiet moment, I admit, I can't do it alone. Not tonight. Jesus, I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of mustering courage that doesn't exist. I'm tired of selling hope as if it were a commodity when all I have is a whisper of faith. So I come to you, not with polished speech or grandiose promises, but with a heart that says, I'm exhausted, help me. I ask not for an escape, but for your presence in this darkness. Let me feel your arms around me when I feel like I'm suffocating in loneliness. Remind me that my weariness doesn't define me, your love does. Even when my strength fails, yours never does. Tonight, when my fears seem to roar like a tidal wave, help me remember that your peace is the anchor that holds me steady. When I lie awake, haunted by what-ifs, whisper truths that silence every lie, show me that even in my weakest moments, you see me fully and you choose not to look away.
So, Lord, here I am, tired but honest, fragile yet hopeful. Draw near to me in this darkness. Be the soft light that chases away shadows. Be the gentle whisper that calms storms inside my mind. And when I wake tomorrow, let me carry the memory that you leaned in close, that you saw me when I felt invisible, and that you stayed when I feared you would go. In your faithful name, Amen. Dear Jesus, I come before you tonight with nothing but an open heart, because I simply don't have it together. I confess that my strength has run out. My mind is full of questions with no answers. My spirit feels drained, and my plans seem to crumble before I even take the first step. Have you ever felt that way, when every what-if rattles through your thoughts, and the confidence you once had vanishes in the face of uncertainty? I'm learning that real faith begins when I admit I can't do this on my own. Tonight, I'm not asking for a band-aid solution or a quick fix that fades by morning. I'm crying out for a miracle, one that goes deeper than my surface wounds, that heals the hidden places of my soul. You know the aches I carry, Lord, the silent prayers I've whispered in tears, the nights I've begged you to show yourself. I don't need to understand everything. I don't need to see a roadmap lined out in neon lights. What I need is you, your presence, your power, your healing touch. Because in my own effort, I've discovered that I'm limited. In my own plans, I've found disappointment. But with you, there is no limit to what you can do. Remember Peter stepping out of that boat. He dared to walk on water as long as his eyes stayed on you, but the moment he looked at the storm, He began to sink. Lord, my eyes have been fixed on my fears instead of on you. I've tried to keep control, charting my own course, only to realize I was sinking the whole time. So tonight, I take my eyes off the chaos and look to you. I reach out my hand, asking for your steady grip. I need a miracle for my finances that don't add up, for my relationships that feel fractured, for the hope that seems to slip further away with each passing day. I'm asking you to move in ways that defy logic, perhaps like you did when you parted the Red Sea for Moses, making a way where there seemed to be none. Perhaps like you spoke peace to the disciples' stormy boat, calming the waves that threatened to overwhelm them. Maybe tonight you'll show up as you did when you healed the blind man, so that I might see clearly beyond my circumstances. But more than anything, I ask for your presence. Father, come close. Let your spirit breathe into these weary bones and bring life where I've felt nothing but emptiness. I don't need perfection. I need you. I don't need every answer. I need your steady whisper when doubts try to shout me down. In this moment of brokenness, I choose to believe that you still move, you still perform miracles, because you promised that nothing is too difficult for you.
And even when I feel forgotten, I will choose to believe I am not, because your faithfulness never fails. So here I am, Lord, no pretenses, no pride, just a heart that recognizes you are my only hope. Do what only you can do. Heal what I cannot heal, restore what feels lost, and remind me that my weakness is the stage for your strength. And if you don't move tonight, I know I won't make it, but I trust that you are already at work behind the scenes, aligning things I cannot see. I believe in your miracle-working power, because you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. In your sacred name, Amen. Dear Jesus, you are the shepherd who walks through my valleys, the healer who knows my brokenness before I even speak a word. In those dark moments when fear whispers lies and doubt tightens its grip, I long for your real, quiet, steady presence. Have you ever felt like you're trudging through a silent valley, carrying burdens that were never meant for you? Tonight, I want to bring that image before the Lord. Picture yourself in a vast, shadowed place, a place of weariness that seeps beneath your skin, where your spirit feels so tired it aches deeper than any physical pain. That is where I find myself now, and maybe you do too. Jesus, I feel the weight in my chest like a heavy stone. I've carried expectations, regrets, and fears that have piled up over time until I can barely breathe. But your word promises in Psalm 34:18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Lord, I declare that promise over myself and over everyone listening. No matter how deep the ache, you are near. You don't wait until I'm strong. You come when I'm crushed. You don't require me to fix myself. You meet me in the valley just as I am. Even now, I lift up the hidden places of my heart, the memories I've buried, the wounds I've ignored, the shame I've carried like a cloak too heavy to shrug off. Jesus, you see those wounds. You know how I've tried to patch them with distraction or busyness, only to discover that nothing holds when it's built on my own strength. So tonight I plead for healing that reaches deeper than surface relief. I ask you to breathe life into the emptiness that has settled there. Let your mercy rewrite the lies that say I'm not enough, that say my past defines me. Speak a new story over my life, one of hope, one of restoration, one of wholeness. Lord, draw near to every weary soul listening, those who have been carrying burdens not meant for them, the parent overwhelmed by financial stress, the friend weighed down by relational wounds, the neighbor burdened with unspoken grief. As you walked with David through his darkest moments, you walk with us now. Be the peace that settles over our chests when anxiety claws at us. Be the light that filters through our darkest thoughts, illuminating truth where lies have lingered. Let us feel your presence so distinctly that every trembling doubt falls silent.
Can you imagine what it would look like if your deepest brokenness became the very canvas for God's healing artistry? I remember a friend who, after years of hiding her scars, both physical and emotional, finally whispered this prayer: Jesus, I can't pretend anymore. Come close and make me whole. Within weeks,
she began to experience small but undeniable signs of renewal, restored relationships, a newfound courage to share her story, and a peace so profound that it surprised even her. That is the power of inviting Jesus into our hidden places. So here I am, Lord, inviting you into the depths of my heart. I choose to believe that you are closer than my next breath, that you are attentive to every unspoken cry. Tonight I surrender my weariness, my buried memories, and my shame into your hands. Let your healing touch restore what I thought was lost beyond repair. Let your presence be the steady anchor that holds me when I feel like I might sink. In your faithful name, amen. Jesus, you are the God of miracle-working power, and tonight I call on you to move as you did when you parted the waters at the Red Sea. How many times have we felt trapped, surrounded by impossible circumstances, as those Israelites stood before roaring waves, and yet you made a way where there was no way. Tonight, I ask you to do the same in my life, to open doors I cannot see, to divide impossibilities so I can walk through on dry ground. You spoke peace to the fierce storm that threatened to swallow those disciples, and the wind obeyed you. Have I not faced my own storms, raging anxieties, financial worries, fractured relationships, where fear feels like a tempest ready to capsize me? If you can command the wind and waves, Lord, then speak your quiet word of peace into my turmoil now. Cultivate calm in my heart, steady my racing thoughts, and remind me that you reign even when I cannot see beyond the chaos. You stood with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace, unscathed by the flames. How often have I felt the heat of trials closing in, as if every burden becomes an inferno that threatens to consume me. Yet you showed us that not even fire can touch those who place their faith in you. Today, I ask you to step into my own furnace, whatever trial is burning me from the inside out, and be my impenetrable companion. Shield me from the flames of doubt, shame, and pain, so that when I emerge untouched, bearing testimony to your sovereign protection. Your history shows us your compassion. You opened the blind man's eyes, you enabled the lame to walk, and you called Lazarus forth from the grave. These are not stories locked in dusty pages. They are proofs of your ongoing present-day power. If you could breathe vision into a man who had never seen light, breathe now into the blind spots of my life, situations where I cannot discern the way forward. Give me eyes to see your hope even when darkness surrounds me.
If you could make a paralytic rise and walk, then cause the limbs of my heart to move again. Let faith walk where fear once paralyzed me. When Lazarus stepped from the tomb at your command, death lost its sting. Tonight, I ask you to breathe life into whatever has been dead or dormant in me, whether it be passion, purpose, or peace. Lord, I don't want to merely survive this night. I want to experience your hand so tangibly that doubt has no foothold. You are the one who sees me when I feel invisible, who hears my faintest cry when I think no one cares. Act decisively, Jesus. Open those doors I didn't even know were locked. Restore what I thought was lost forever. Make a way through walls of impossibility. Without your intervention, I admit I cannot endure the weight before me. But with you, everything can change, even in the darkest hour. So I declare now, Jesus, you are my miracle-working God. You have proven your faithfulness across generations, and I place my trust in you. Let your Spirit move in my life this very moment, turning sorrow into joy, despair into hope, and confusion into clarity. I believe you will move, because you are good, and your love never fails. In your powerful name I pray, Amen. Lord, tonight, I choose surrender. I release my desperate need to understand every detail, the pressure to stay strong when I'm exhausted, and the illusion that I must control every outcome. Have you ever felt like you're trying to carry a mountain on your shoulders, only to realize that you're too weary to climb?
I recognize I cannot both carry these burdens and find healing at the same time. So I release my timelines. Those deadlines I imagined must be met, my rehearsed fears that replay in my mind, and my tendency to lean on my own understanding. Instead, I lean into you. Jesus, you hold every weight I cannot bear. You are my calm amid the fiercest storms, the whisper in my soul reminding me it's safe to rest. You don't demand that I earn your rest. You simply invite me to step into your presence. Tonight, I ask you to wrap me in your peace. Let it wash over my body, my mind, and the corners of this room. Let your presence become the atmosphere around me, steady, warm, and gentle. While I sleep, I trust you are moving unseen things into place, aligning circumstances that I cannot perceive. As I close my eyes, I know you remain watchful. While I rest, you continue to work. Father, I declare your sovereignty over every aspect of my life. You are God, I am yours, and that is enough. In this truth I find rest, not in my ability to fix things or predict outcomes, but in your unwavering faithfulness. You are the same God who parted seas, calmed storms, healed the brokenhearted, and raised the dead. Tonight, I rest in the confidence that you are at work, even when I cannot see it. Your Spirit is moving, bringing restoration, and orchestrating miracles for those who trust in you. As we conclude this time of prayer, I want to invite you, if this message spoke to your heart, to share it with someone who needs a reminder that God is near, even in the silence. Let us build a community of believers who carry each other's burdens, pray for one another, and celebrate God's faithfulness together. Comment below with how we can pray for you. We stand with you in prayer and faith. You are not alone in your struggles, and together we can lift each other up. If you've been encouraged by this prayer, make a bold move. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. By doing so, you join a community committed to walking by faith, finding rest in Jesus, and experiencing His presence daily. Every video we share will strengthen your spirit, bolster your hope, and remind you that God sees you, hears you, and is working on your behalf. May peace cover you through this night like a gentle blanket, and may you wake with renewed hope at dawn. Rest in His goodness, friend, because He is faithful to keep you in perfect peace. Good night, and God bless you.